I know it's been a very tough time for everyone recently, but I just wanted to shed a bit of light on some stuff that I get asked about every single day, and one of the most popular topics is whitening. Now, to really understand tooth whitening, we need to understand discoloration, and there are two different types of discoloration. So one type of discoloration is outside sources, and that's called extrinsic staining. So for example, black coffee, red wine, smoking, turmeric, all those things can cause your teeth to look stained or discolored. Now, to have these removed, you need to go and see a dentist or a hygienist that can remove these staining for you. You can also maintain that by brushing with an electric toothbrush twice a day. I absolutely love the Philips Sonicare. I find it's great. It also has different modes on it, so you can tailor it to your needs, and you can brush so effectively without damaging your teeth and gums. I also recommend an air flosser, which can help lift the stains by blasting air and water between your teeth. Now, intrinsic discoloration is a little bit more complicated. Basically, it's when the inside of the teeth are not the colour that you want them to be, or you look in the mirror and you think, why is this happening? Now, one of the reasons is trauma. So for example, say you've fallen when you're younger and you bash your tooth, then it could come up as being more dark or even yellow. In some cases, the nerve dies and you actually need root canal treatment. And if you need root canal treatment, the tooth can look particularly discolored. Some people can also have darker teeth because they took antibiotics at some stage of their lives that's affected the way in which the enamel has come through. So this is known as tetracycline staining, for example, which has bands of different colours when the teeth come out. You could also have yellow teeth because the enamel has eroded, it has come away for whatever reason. So for example, if you have an acidic diet and you've stripped away the enamel, or if you've been grinding and your enamel has broken down, and basically the yellow part of the tooth is the dentine. So if the dentine starts to show through more, the teeth can appear more yellow. So there are so many reasons why teeth could look yellow. If you go to a dentist and they basically look at your teeth and see what's going on, they can advise you of the best kind of treatment. So if you've had root canal treatment and the tooth is very dark, you may need internal bleaching, which goes in behind the tooth. So what happens is the dentist will go from the back of the tooth where the root canal filling has been done and place a little bit of bleach there. You may need to go back a few times, or you may be instructed to do something at home until the process is complete. Now, if it's tetracycline staining, it's very complex. Your dentist will advise you whether you should have prolonged whitening done. They can talk about the different ways in which you can do that, or it might not be effective at all. But again, it's a case-by-case analysis. If you're born with more yellow teeth, the dentist will also look at a chart which basically shows you what colour your teeth are. So you've got the more yellow end and the more white end. And the more yellow end, so say for example you're an A3, you want to basically have a comparison that after the whitening you've jumped up a few shades. Now, how can you do that? Well, the dentist will ideally take a mold or scan of your teeth and make trays that are totally bespoke to your mouth. What does this mean? It means that it's a tray that won't fit anyone else. It fits your teeth, your unique mouth, the shapes, the gums, etc. So therefore, it's most likely going to have the best results, because it means that when any whitening product that's placed in the trays can really be seated well and have the most effect on you. If it's a tray that can fit anyone, so these trays where you can just mold them at home yourself, the risk is that the material could just seep out, it's not pressed up against the teeth, and it just might not work as well. Now, what's the key ingredient for whitening to work? Well, it's peroxide, and that's in the version of hydrogen peroxide or carbamide peroxide. And I basically give my patients the options of either. With the hydrogen peroxide, I have a day white system, and that's mainly by Philips Zoom. So if you have a look here, and what I do is I get my patients to whiten their teeth for 30 to 90 minutes twice a day. It comes in a box, and basically you've got these little syringes. You just have a look here, and you get the trays, and what you want to do is you want to put a tiny bit of gel onto the front surface of each tooth. So if you have a look here, that's the gel. So have a look really closely. And there we go. So what I do is that I will show them how to do this. And I always advise, just put the gel where you see the teeth and the smile. I don't bother wasting any gel on my back teeth because, for example, no one really sees your back teeth. Whitening can cause some sensitivity, so you want to reduce the effects of that. With the Philips Zoom Day system, you'll see your results after sort of 2 to 3 days, but you want to continue ideally for about 2 weeks. With the night system, it's exactly the same, but you do it after you've brushed your teeth and before you go to bed. And you just basically do it whilst you're sleeping. When you wake up after a nice night's sleep, you can wash out the trays and the results will be obvious again after a couple of weeks. So it depends on which one would suit you. Now, people say to me, over the counter, does it work? Doesn't it work? Well, it's really difficult because, again, the most important ingredient is peroxide, and the levels of peroxide that you can get over the counter are usually very low. I'm not saying they won't have any effect, but really, from all the things that I've told you, can you diagnose why your teeth are the colour they are? Is it because you're just born with more yellow teeth? Is it because your teeth are eroded or, you've been grinding away? Is it because you've got tetracycline? You don't know. So sometimes you could be just wasting your time and money without consulting a dentist first. And sure, if there are some products that you like, you can ask them on a personal basis and they can advise you correctly. Now, some whitening toothpaste also can be super abrasive. What I mean by abrasive is that they have almost sand-like particles, and basically they're designed to rub stains away from your teeth. However, it can be so hard that it actually strips away your enamel. And if your enamel is stripped, the dentine shows through. The dentine is more yellow and more sensitive. And actually, I did have a patient that ended up rubbing so much enamel off, she had to come to me for veneers because her teeth were permanently damaged. So again, just be careful with what you're using. There can be some products out there that aren't too abrasive, so check in with your dentist. Now, charcoal, does it work or doesn't it work? Again, there's no great scientific research to show that charcoal will whiten your teeth. Some charcoal toothpaste are absolutely fine to use, but again, it depends on the RDA value, i.e. how abrasive it is. The danger is though, if the charcoal makes your teeth go super black, you could end up over brushing and really brushing hard to try and remove the stains, which again, could make the enamel a little bit weaker because you're just going in for it. Lastly, coconut oil. Okay, so coconut is great, love it, use it on my hair all the time. But coconut oil is a lubricant. So again, it may help lubricate things in your mouth, dislodge particles or stains, but really it's not gonna have a massive effect on whitening because you need that chemical reaction to occur like it does with peroxide where your teeth are actually gonna become whiter. So if in doubt, always see a professional first. They can advise you. They are the ones that also can give you the best products and the best results. If you want to maintain things at home with certain products, you can come to us and we can guide you in another way. Hope that's been helpful, guys, and I'm going to be dropping lots of top tips during this period to help you guys make better decisions